Hey. Guys, welcome to my channel. This is a story of what if Sasuke regrets his decisions and want to make atonement for his sin. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, it will surely help me, and also it will notify you on my upcoming videos, and check the description for the creator of this great fanfic. Thank you. Now let's start the story. Chapter 3. Graduation, Training and Fun Academy. Everyone was shocked the day of the exam when Sasuke and Naruto walked in together, at the same time. They were surprised how warm Sasuke was feeling compared to the last 2 days when he and Naruto disappeared without a. Blonde giggled at a joke. The Raven. Wait a second. Oi, Sasuke, you can joke. Kiba yelled, and just like that, the Uchiha's good mood evaporated as Naruto pouted. Am I a drone? He asked coldly. The entire classroom's temperature fell a few degrees. No, but you joked to Naruto baka. Is she your crush? Kiba asked, oblivious to his now dug grave. Hinata's sigh made Shikamaru and Shino realize that the Inuzuka was digging his own grave. Oh really? Do you have a crush on her? Sasuke asked too sweetly. He remembered how the Inuzuka didn't even give a shit. Him, Shino, Shikamaru, Choji, Lee, Shikamaru, Tenten, Ino and Sakura. They were on his shit list. I admit she's kinda cute. Apart from that, nah. As soon as he said that, Sasuke unleashed the full weight of his killer intent. His yin, mental traumas and hatred augmented killer intent, which washed over the entire classroom. Safe for two girls. We're really dead. Shikamaru whispered to Shino. Let's be clear about one thing, that Naruto is the most special person I ever knew or will know. If you're just that shallow, quit being a ninja. Ninja look underneath the underneath. Honor is for samurai and dead men. But trying to take a man's love of his life is too low. He then stopped, as Naruto put her hand on his shoulder as she gave him a sad, disappointed look. Sasuke, stop being an evil bastard for once. Naruto commented about her. Well, sparing partner's darkness. Fine by me, Ohime-sama. He snarked as she pinched his ear. I am not a princess, got that? She asked as she glared at him, but it wasn't with any of the usual venom nor heat. Ouch. That hurt. Fine, you're not a princess. Sasuke rubbed his ear as she huffed and turned her nose upward as she looked away. A fighter princess then. Tem. She screeched as he ran away, clinging to the ceiling with Chakra. He now realized what she meant. Her temper was scary, even for him. Come down here and fight like a true man. Nope. You are scary. Sasuke replied calmly. He then smirked as she threw a fit. Zananda. He then smirked as she then started to kick the ground before she jumped at him. He simply propulsed himself downward while flipping and bear-hugging her from behind. She kicked and screamed as he stole a sniff at her hair. Then Iruka and Mizuki got in and Sasuke gave the white-haired Chunin a cold glare that promised an unyielding amount of pain. And then, the exam started. The written test was laughable. History. Math. No chakra theory. Geography. Who booked this crap? Then Sasuke understood why Naruto failed. She was book dumb, yet she was easily smart, like street smart. Then his name was called. He made some Kage Bunshin instead of the regular ones. Naruto did the same, and amazingly, they both passed. Splendid Naruto-chan. Sasuke commented with a warm smile. He laughed at the prospect of the failure of most of these useless hopeless cases, as all they did was ridiculing, bullying and mocking the hidden gem called Naruto. Oh, that was definitely karma at its finest. Sasuke, what's the joke? Naruto asked with a lopsided eyebrow and smirk. He shook his head. You'll get it in time. For now, time to put the hammer down. Come on, let's go to Ichiraku. My treat. He told her, and she gave him a predatory grin. Prepare to have a hole in your wallet, Tem. She then dragged him by his hand as he allowed her to manhandle him. Sasuke can be soft for an Avenger, it seems. Iruka watched the show with a sad smile. He realized what a gem Naruto can be. Sasuke was a lucky man, it seems. Ichiraku ramen, hey, I think that you have a nice appetite, unlike these. Sasuke stopped himself from saying the name of the beasts. Naruto-chan, is he your boyfriend? Ayame squealed as Naruto almost choked on her ramen. Oi, Ayame, stop embarrassing our best customer. Toiki scolded his daughter as Naruto recovered. Nah, our relationship is purely professional. Naruto commented, not noticing the tinge of sadness in Sasuke's eyes. For now, she whispered, and he smiled mirthfully. Oh, this girl is really special. You know that you can move in any time. Sasuke told the girl who glared at him, "Look, my house is closer to the training grounds, so." He replied with a tinge of a pink shade on his face. "Oh really?" Naruto chirped before she gave him a sweet smile. "I think that we must establish some rules. No rushing me out of the bathroom, no peeking, and nothing perverted, or else." "Nah, I will never do so." Sasuke replied calmly, "Before we're an official couple." He added mentally, "I swear it upon my honor. I think that now I might give you the right to date me. Whenever I feel like it." She replied coyly. Sasuke noticed that the innocent Naruto can be a seductress. He felt a burning feeling of jealousy. "You better not take any seduction mission, or else, I will burn Konoha and his town to the bedrock, until literally nothing remain." There goes Sasuke's jealous side appearing once again. "Okay fine. I think that we might have to try to make it work. Either we'll kill each other, or kiss each other repeatedly datbayo." Naruto replied nervously. She loved Sasuke's manly pride, but that was a bit much. They ate the rest of their food as Sasuke was in his introvert mode. He didn't need words, as just the mere company of this blonde was enough to make him happy and at peace. He decided that hunting down the Akatsuki would wait for a while. "Naruto, ever thought about learning some fuinjutsu? Or at least, ways to destroy some juinjutsu?" Sasuke's question made the blonde raise an eyebrow. What was that all about? "You mean like Ji-chan's jutsu? I think that it would be pretty handy datbayo." Naruto said excitedly and he chuckled. This was going much better than expected. "Let's go, I have something for you." Sasuke told the girl who decided to follow the Uchiha, who was glaring death at anyone who gave her any dirty look. Naruto hid her face. Sure, Sasuke can be pretty sweet at times, but that wasn't. Well, maybe it was. They soon arrived at a lake. He then went to a tree and caught a leaf. She gave him a questioning look. "Remember that leaf exercise? I figured out that you have too much chakra. So, remove your sandals." Sasuke told the blonde who blushed. "Hey, do you have a foot fetish?" Naruto asked Sasuke who shrugged. "Nah, but in private, maybe." He replied coyly as she gave him a deadpan look. "You should never do it. It's just weird." She replied as he sighed. "As cute as your feet are, I assure you, I would never do anything you wouldn't want. Now, try to channel your chakra through your soles and pick up the leaf with it." Sasuke replied as she blushed at the mention of her feet being cute. "Okay, here goes nothing." Naruto tried to use as little chakra as possible. Surprisingly, she made it with both feet. "I did it. So, anything else?" she asked in a training-hungry tone. "Yeah, time to walk up a tree. Just concentrate on maintaining the right amount." Sasuke advised as he did the same thing. He trained so hard to attain his speed, strength and chakra control. With that, he would definitely be ready. He watched in amazement how easily it was for the blonde. She might have the chakra level of a Biju, but she was now completely controlling the lake. Sasuke realized why she used to suck. That fox was messing with her. "It took me 3 days back. Now it took me an hour, and yet. Wow, I have an idea." Sasuke stopped Naruto as he then caught her as she jumped down. "Which is?" she asked as he smiled at her. "Kage Bunshin. These clones can be an amazing asset for chakra control training. Now make about 300. Sasuke told her as he made 2 clones to supervise her training. They left their clones to their own devices as they both trained physically for a few hours. It was late at night when they saw Ichiraku rushing after Mizuki. Sasuke's eyes widened as he activated his Rinnegan and was immediately running, Naruto on his tail. "Naruto, Mizuki is a traitor. Look, whatever he will spout, don't believe him, okay?" Sasuke told his future girlfriend as she was following both him and Ichiraku. Focusing his chakra, he shunshined in front of the traitor before he gave him a mighty, chakra-enhanced drop kick. "Oh ho, here comes the demon lover." Mizuki spat as Ichiraku and Naruto arrived. "You're surrounded, Mizuki. Give up." Ichiraku warned as he was about to engage the traitor in combat. Naruto made her favorite hand seal as she was ready for this. "Well, here's the demon bitch. You know, people hate you for a reason." Mizuki readied his Fuma shuriken. "Mizuki, shut up. It's forbidden." Ichiraku yelled as the other Chunin smirked evilly. "Naruto, you are the Kyuubi." He cackled only for Sasuke to stab him in his lower back, severing his spine. You talk too much, Sasuke said coldly before he kicked the traitor down. He fell with a dry heap as he broke both legs, not that he would feel his limp appendages anymore. Sasuke then looked at Naruto, who was now trembling. Without thinking, the Uchiha wrapped her in a protective hug. She just broke down in tears as he hugged her tightly. Naruto, you are not the fox, you are not the Biju, you are you, he's the mightiest Biju alive. A huge, chakra construct, wise old being, that happens to be sentient, but apart from that, he's sealed tightly. You are that sweet cute girl that I would do anything to protect, and I mean, anything. Sasuke dragged the last word as he kissed the crown of her head. Kakashi arrived soon enough. Good job you two, Kakashi said as Sasuke glared at him. Surprisingly warmly. You were there, Kakashi-san. Why didn't you interfere? Iruka asked the Hokage, who shrugged. Sasuke already got it. Who am I to deny my future students from their bonding time? Kakashi asked Iruka, why sighed sadly. This man will be his own death. So, Naruto, do you feel better? Iruka asked his student, who shook her head. How did he even manage to sneak past the Hokage? He's the bloody shinobi no kami, the strongest of the Gokages despite Yagura being a perfect Jinchuriki, Anaki's Jinten in A's speed, in his old age. Sasuke asked Kakashi heatedly. Seriously, Sarutobi on his worst day would have killed him in an instant. There was a riot that I can't discuss for now, Sasuke. Anyway, Naruto, you are not the Kyuubi, you are its jail. You are the hero who was sacrificed for A. I gotta go, Kakashi told the shook-up girl before he disappeared with the scroll and the traitor. So, Naruto, how about we treat you to Ichiraku ramen? Iruka asked the girl, who shook her head. Dark thought overcoming her mind. Sasuke grabbed her hands and squeezed them, gently. Naruto, look, let's call it a day. Sasuke told the girl, who nodded. He carried her on his back as he turned to Iruka for help. Let me tell you about something. I realized that you are not a monster fox, you are my amazing student, Uzumaki Naruto. Iruka told the girl, who smiled a bit as Sasuke went to their apartment. She was tired, shook up, and now, however, she fainted as her clones dispelled all at once. Oh great. I think that I will have to put her in her bed then. Sasuke whispered before he disappeared like a lightning bolt. Oi, you harm her and I will kill you. Iruka threatened and Sasuke smirked at the words. Sasuke's apartment. The Uchiha put his love in the bed after he removed her sandals, and he covered her well, making sure to tuck the cute girl nicely in her bed. He smiled sadly at the thought of sleeping in the futon once again, but when he remembered that Naruto was with him, well, it was so much better than sleeping on his own. Sasuke smiled sadly, a forlorn glimmer in his eyes, as he remembered his loneliness. God, losing her killed him, he felt all alone in the entire world. Sure, his team, Taka, was there, but Naruto was special. She was the sun THST burned his darkness away. No. She's the sun that burns his darkness away. He only hoped that Tsunade will be more helpful this time. He already had a plan which he will execute when the time was right. He will be gone, train hard enough to grow up physically, and then return after killing all of the Akatsuki safe for his brother, Nagato and Konan. Yes, that will work. He already had an idea what to do with Toby. Sealing the space-time would take someone rare with Naruto. She had the ability of a seal mistress in the making. He was distracted as Kakashi knocked on the window. Not wanting his love to be disturbed, he opened the window faster than Kakashi could have knocked again. The Uchiha then walked out to the roof, after closing the window. Kakashi was shocked to see him know the tree walking. Yo, why so late? Sasuke asked in irritation. Kakashi I smiled. Well, I had to deliver both a traitor and a scroll. Sorry. Anyways, I wanted to reply now since Naruto was not in a good state of mind. Now, the reason for the riot was because of Naruto graduating. Kakashi couldn't even finish the rest as the full weight of Sasuke's hatred impacted him. His aura was now colder than death itself. I will kill these ungrateful fucktards, sons and daughters of swine bitches. Yondaime sacrificed his own flesh and blood, his daughter for their sake, and look at how they treated her. This is so disgusting, I don't have any word to describe it. No wonder Orochimaru went out. No wonder Itachi snapped. I see exactly what he meant. Sasuke replied coldly, his hatred was terrifying to the Hokage, who sweated profusely. This Sasuke isn't the Sasuke he watched over. This boy, no, man, have a mission to accomplish, consequences be damned. Calm down. Naruto is sleeping. Kakashi gambled and Sasuke stopped his rage as he was reminded of his most important person. Fine. Kakashi, if Sakura will harm Naruto in any shape or form. Good night for now, he said as he walked down the wall, got into the window and slept peacefully. What was that all about? Kakashi was completely confused, disturbed and terrified for once. The Hokage shook his head as he went to think about it. Oh, the Uchiha Sasuke is a yandere. Who would have thought? The last Hokage giggled at the prospect of helping these two get closer together. Their love should be a blazing inferno of devotion, not knowing that Sasuke was holding back his love for Naruto in order for her not to be pushed away. Hokage's office. Hokage-sama, can I make a request? Kakashi asked the old man who raised an eyebrow but shrugged. Sure Kakashi. Go ahead. The old man was nonchalant as the Hokage sighed. I have a suspicion that Sasuke is overprotective toward Naruto, and since we both know about Sakura's temper, I suggest THST Team Kurenai get her in case she failed. Kakashi told the old man who stroked his goatee and thought. Excellent idea, but what made you think about this conclusion? While a team of two or a single apprentice was rare, Kakashi was an exceptional talent. Because I know that Sasuke and Naruto can put their differences aside if needs be, but Sakura. If she's a fangirl, then I don't want to waste her talent. It's clear that her knowledge and talent is too good to wither. Kakashi's tone was foreboding, but Hiruzen nodded. I agree. Sasuke-kun would do anything for Naruto-chan, even fight the Shinigami himself and win. The tone of the old Hokage was so firm, convinced and most of all, it was a fact that he knew. A yandere and a tsunere makes an amazing couple, you know. Kakashi chuckled in a knowing and anticipating manner. Naruto was clearly not quite convinced about Sasuke's feelings. I know. They remind me of Makoto and Kushina's rivalry, then I realized that Sasuke is a terrifying genius, and Naruto is an amazing future kunoichi. Hiruzen told Kakashi who smiled fondly like the old man. Yeah, they are like them. Only Sasuke is colder and Naruto needs a lot more of soul building. But I'm sure that their relationship would heal each other. Kakashi replied with a nostalgic wistful look in his eye. The next day Naruto put her index and thumb at the sides of her mouth, crossed her eyes and made a grimace for her ninja photo. Sasuke closed his left eye and sticked his tongue out as he made a V sign with his thumb pointing upward. They both looked at each other and laughed mirthfully at their ninja image. Oh, that was something that no one would have expected from one Uchiha Sasuke. You two better take it again. Hiruzen told the two who sighed. But Ji-chan. Naruto started as Sasuke sighed. Can we keep it? For a later date at least. Sasuke said and a scarfed kid came running with a wooden shuriken, shouting at Hiruzen that he will take the hat from him. As he tripped over his own feet, the two soon-to-be genin face faulted at the epic failure. Hey, you two tripped me. The brat had the audacity at least. However, Naruto grabbed him by his shirt as she glared at him. You tripped on your own feet, you clumsy brat. She scolded as she held his shirt in an iron grip. Honorable grandson. Hey you. Let him go now. Ibisu screamed at Naruto only for Sasuke to give him his Uchiha's death glare. Somehow, it terrified the Tokubetsu Jonin. What are you going to do, huh? Hit me. Konohamaru smirked smugly as his grandfather shook his head. The Hokage is my grandfather. Do you think I care, Datbeo? You idiot. She yelled before punching him on the back of his head. As he tumbled over, Sasuke grabbed him from his ankle and swinged him like a pendulum. And I don't care if he's your grandmother. He added before Ibisu told him to let him go. Fine. The Uchiha smirked as he dropped the dizzy kid. Let's go training, Naruto. He said as they both shunshined. Who were these two? Konohamaru asked as Hiruzen sighed. Uzumaki Naruto. The boy is Uchiha Sasuke, our strongest genin ever to graduate. He commented as he knew for a fact that Sasuke was holding back tremendously. Sarutobi Hiruzen however managed to look at Sasuke, like a really good look. The old wise man realized that he had another Madara on his hands. Hiruzen remembered the old days when Madara was a Konoha shinobi. That man was the most fierce and loyal shinobi ever to not make it to the Hokage seat. He had no doubts that if Madara was in his now office, Konoha would have thrived tremendously. Training Ground 3. Sasuke looked at each and every name on the stone before he stopped at 2. Namikaze Minato and Uchiha Obito. He sighed dejectedly as Naruto was practicing the taijutsu scroll that was mysteriously dropped on her. The girl was surprisingly agile and flexible, which enabled her to do pretty much all of the sequences with a flawless precision that others would definitely struggle to even attempt. Sasuke thought sadly as he still can't tell her parents' names. Namikaze Minato. Naruto asked Sasuke, who cursed before he composed himself. Your father. He was one amazing shinobi. Your mother's name is Uzumaki Kushina. Sasuke replied as he sighed and palmed his face mentally. Why he could not lie. Sasuke, when did you knew? Naruto asked in a threatening tone which promised a lot of pain. This very morning. I raided my old home, and found mom's journal. I don't know where I put it though. She bought it at least. Sasuke sighed in relief mentally. Were they good people? Naruto asked Sasuke desperately as he smiled wistfully. His mother talked a lot about her late best friend. Your mom, Kami rest her soul, is just like you. Feisty, sweet, kind and terrifying as a kunoichi with a hot blood and temper. She was an amazing friend to mom, who wanted to adopt you, or at least. Nah, we're still too young. Let's talk about it when you're 15 or 16 or something. Sasuke replied as he blushed. Sasuke, what's wrong with you? Do you have a fever? Naruto asked the Uchiha, worried a bit about her first friend's health. I'm okay. Well, you're very cute. Sasuke told the girl who blushed. Even your feet are too cute for a girl. He whispered and she caught it. While she was feeling that Sasuke was kinda weird about that, she felt really flattered. Oh well, I guess that you're not that bad. Thanks for being kind to me. Naruto felt that she started developing a crush on Sasuke. Her heartbeat increased and the Uchiha noticed how her eyes were like Ino a long time ago, but they were much more loyal and beautiful. Hey, even a stone-hearted man like me can appreciate cuteness. Sasuke defended himself as he almost stuttered. Yeah, I admit that your voice is better after it changed. Naruto admitted as the Uchiha smirked. So she liked his voice, huh? I think that I remember a song from the old days. Here goes. Sasuke then went and sung scenario Naruto ending 15, and for once, Naruto was astounded by his voice. Sasuke was just a talented, smug. Not really, sna. Dragon, she reminded herself. Okay. I think that maybe I should try. Naruto then sung a few songs from her memory, and the Uchiha had a genuine smile at her voice. High-pitched or not, she was a good singer in his book. He remembered how her voice will be a bit deeper and sighed dejectedly. What? Look, whatever you are thinking, you can trust me. Naruto told the Uchiha, who sighed grimly. Let's continue. He said sternly, but the softness of his eyes said otherwise. Naruto nodded as she tried to win once again, only for Sasuke to show her his surprising speed and she was down once again. Damn it. How come that you grew up this much, you damn tem? Naruto asked Sasuke, who smirked evilly. Hey, let's just say that. I'm much better than I showed so far. Anyway, wanna try out how to increase your speed? He smiled as she nodded, while he helped her up. This is going to be interesting. The night Sasuke thought about their training. Naruto was just amazing to say the least. Sasuke begun drawing his plan mentally. The invasion would need to change. Orochimaru will experience the true power of an Uchiha, then he will learn everything but a few things from him. His thoughts went to Taka. He will need to contact Jugo and free Suigetsu. He will need to make Karen loyal to her cousin. He knew that the two girls would love to have a family. He will kill the Akatsuki. He will stomp them after he. No. He will not be a nuke nin. He will make Itachi loyal officially. He licked his lips at the prospect of killing Danzo yet again. His thoughts were interrupted by Naruto's loud yell of terror. Sasuke rushed and saw the blonde covered in blood. Sasuke, please, I'm dying. Someone wanted to kill me. Avenge me. Naruto yelled in terror as Sasuke had a brain crash. Naruto just had her first period. Naruto, calm down. Go to the bathroom and take a bath. I think that you had your first period. Sasuke told the blonde, who raised an eyebrow. What's a period? Am I bleeding to death? Naruto asked in total terror as she thought that she was dying. The Uchiha sighed as he dragged her to the bathroom and made a kage bunshin to fetch her some clothes and her womanly needs. Do you trust me, Naruto? Sasuke asked the blonde, who remained silent before she answered him with uncertainty. With my life, but not my body. She replied shyly as he noticed the uncertainty in her voice. Didn't anyone tell you about this? Sasuke asked curiously as the blonde Jinchuriki shook her head. He was surprised, shocked even, how the academy was this low. No girls, not even a female sensei. Most of them never talked to me. And Suzume kicked me out. She muttered as Sasuke felt a murderous rage almost taking him over. She was just an orphaned girl with no one to guide. That was disgusting. Look, it's normal for any girl to have this. You're not different, it's just that. Well, I don't know. I mean, men and women are different. It's something called puberty. It happened to me a few months ago. Sasuke explained the best he could, his face burning as he thought about what if Naruto was alone. Wait a second. Kakashi judged her at her worst days. The test is a bust, it seems. No, they will pass. Naruto must realize her dream, get married, have a lot of Uchiha babies to love, cherish. He sighed sadly. Street what was and would have been. But he already prevented one reason. The second is easier once his body will be back in his glory days. Sasuke, please, don't leave me alone. Naruto whispered as he sighed. I'm not leaving you alone, not for long, I swear. Sasuke promised. Now more than ever. Sasuke, I need you, now more than ever. Naruto's words made the Uchiha realize something. He was now completely stuck with her, probably forever. He sighed as he chose to sacrifice something important to him. His freedom was more than worth it, compared to that hell. I'm always here for you. I'm always here just for you. Sasuke said softly as his eyes warmed up at the sight of the vulnerable girl. You know, I never slept in anybody else's house, lest a boy. But I'm kinda glad that you're here. Naruto confessed as he turned away as she scrubbed her body. He was decent enough to stay away from looking at her, as much as he hated to do so, as it took all of his self-control not to kiss the life out of her. Can you scrub my back? No perverted look or I will never date you. Fine, he said as he scrubbed her back quickly before he bolted outside. She then dried herself and wrapped 2 soft towels around her slender yet curvy and developed body. Soon enough, Sasuke's clone dispelled as she walked out and he sighed as he took her sight. God, this cute girl will be an amazingly hot, drop-dead gorgeous woman pretty soon. Here, I brought you a pajama, a few. You know. Sasuke said as she gave him a confused look. How do I use these? She asked him as she tilted her head to the side. Sasuke was glad to have an amazing self-control, lest he'd glomp this ball of cuteness and kiss, bite, suck and lick her as much as he wanted, like all the way to the dawn party. Well, you see. Sasuke explained as his face became redder than his beloved tomatoes. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like for more what ifs and support the author. See you guys in the next video.